Muy bien, gracias. Muy bien, gracias. Y usted, y usted. Buenos días, amigos. Gracias, que estoy contenta que todos están aquí.
Mrs. Call's kindergarten class is the first of its kind here at Marrion Elementary School. This is the first group of students participating in Marrion's two-way bilingual immersion program.
The program that we're running is a program for Spanish and English-speaking students. Half of our students are Spanish-speaking, half of them are native English speakers, and they are immersed in Spanish 90% of the day. So the two-way part is the makeup of the class.
Dinosaurio, dinosaurio.
The district selected Marrion because of its growing number of Spanish-speaking students. Research shows a two-way bilingual immersion program benefits all students, resulting in higher levels of academic achievement and closing the gap for English language learners.
We have writing assessments, we have reading assessments, and the kindergarten teachers all work as a team together to instruct and then to assess their students, and these students are performing as well as the other students are, even though they're learning it in their second language.
Muy bien, si es que no sabes eso de aquí y eso de aquí, es imposible saber leer y escribir, ¿no? So. Exacto.
There are 28 students in Mrs. Call's classroom. 14 are learning English for the first time, and 14 are learning Spanish.
You know, everything that the other teachers, they teach in the other regular classes of kindergarten, I do teach these children here. The only thing I do it in Spanish.
Teresa Call was hired by the district last year, teaching a regular kindergarten class at Marrion to familiarize herself with the kindergarten curriculum. These kids were chosen for the program through application and a selection process. The first day was a bit more challenging than usual for half of the class because their teacher was only speaking in Spanish.
Things were kind of flipped on their head, where our native Spanish-speaking students were able to understand when they were given a direction, oh, you need to stand up and go do this, and please get your papers and come sit down. And our English-speaking students were more kind of sitting there, looking around, waiting to figure out what was going on before they moved. And it was, they were exhausted. They were all exhausted. The first couple of weeks, it's a full day of kindergarten, and for most of them, it's in a language that they aren't familiar with.
Can you imagine, you know, the children that they speak English, they didn't have no idea what I was saying. So it was more like mimic, you know, like come and hello. A lot of the hand motions and things like that was like playing charades. R, r, cintura, rosa.
There's a big difference between being taught a second language and being immersed in it while learning. It's a perfect fit to start at the kindergarten level because so much is learned through storytelling, songs, games, and hands-on activities. Mrs. Call doesn't translate. She uses creative visual instruction methods instead. It doesn't take long for the kids to make the adjustment.
By the end of the second week or third week, the kids, they were so comfortable. They knew the routine, and now they understand. I give commands, and it's like something that is natural. They understand, and it's their language now. Yeah. Qué maravilla. Muy bien, qué maravilla. Oh, excelente.
During the course of the day, the kids break into smaller groups, some working with Mrs. Call, some working with Jenny, the teacher's aide. They also work in pairs. One English-speaking student and one Spanish-speaking.
Children are great teachers, and they are not judgmental. So, you know, they teach each other in a very natural way.
You get to like and you get to like write like a lot of Spanish and it's fun.
Toby, will you put your paper at your desk, please?
4 days out of the week, for about 40 minutes, the instruction switches to English. Mrs. Call, her assistant, the school librarian, and an ELL teacher work with the kids together and in small learning groups.
We are learning a lot of vocabulary, and not just, small words, but a lot of big words too. Like one of my children yesterday said, "Mrs. Call, I am attracted to candy." And the other one says, "Oh yeah, I am attracted to candy and chocolate."
This year, the kids will be immersed in the language, learning their ABCs, basic reading and math skills, primarily in Spanish. Next year, it's on to the first grade and their next bilingual teacher. The students and their families are committed to the program for 6 years. Each year, there will be more English instruction added. By the time these kids are in the 5th grade, 50% of what they learn will be taught in Spanish and 50% in English.
Una oración, dos oraciones.
The plan is to start up two-way bilingual immersion programs in other languages at other schools in the district.
Muy bien, Toby.
These kids are the trailblazers for what's to come, as they take learning the basics to a whole new level that is both exciting and fun.